Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. This will be a very quick little tidbit mini kind of review of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, the first 3 episodes of season 2. And, out the gate, kind of a boring show for me. I don't know what it is. I thought in episode 1, where you get kind of like a backstory a little bit of the Sauron character and how like fucking menacing he is and he fucks people up and he reminds me of like a Lucifer type of character where he's like the fallen angel or fallen elf and he has to and he's like he needs to take power for himself, so he has all these goons working. He has the orcs and the daddy of the orcs, I forgot his name. He has him working for him, but they betray him, right? I was like, okay, I'm into it. So he turns into like ooze or some shit, and it starts consuming life around him, which I'm like, okay, that's an okay like concept or idea for a bad guy character, or the Sauron character that I'm aware of from the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which I enjoyed, the Peter Jackson trilogy. I enjoyed it. But then it's like, boom, he's now the guy from season 1. Like, kind of quickly, where we don't get enough of, like, I don't know, like, badassery, like, some real, like, grit to the character. Right when they're starting to do it, they end it already. He just eats some lady, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's the guy. And then they just re-teleport back to modern day, or whatever. Like, kinda, right? They show where he what does he do? He goes on a boat or something, and it gets attacked by giant Middle Earth monsters in the water and shit, and he gets stranded in the fucking water, and that's where we first see him in season 1. And it's like, damn, you guys like teleported there, man. Isn't this guy supposed to be like super important? He's probably one of the most important characters in the entire lore of Lord of the Rings is the Sauron guy, right? He's the big baddie. And they like there's like, oh, well, here's where he was. He did some shit, and now he's here. He's on the fucking boat. Boom. So they kind of like speed through it. It's just like, God, give that some weight, man. I don't know about any of the listeners here, if you're even listening, but like the Golden City looking place. I don't know the fucking names of these places. With the old man king who's like dying in bed. He dies, and then the girl has to take over. She's like blind or something, and that place. Everything about that place bores the absolute shit out of me. Even I guess he's like a son of an important guy from that city, where he's like captured in the spider web thing and has to escape, and he finds his horse and all that shit. If I see any of these people, I get fucking bored instantly. There's nothing like interesting about them. Like, yo, go back to the fucking rings, bro. That's the cool shit. Fucking, what's his name? Celebrimbor, however you say his name. And Elrond, and like their whole dynamic, and Galadriel and their dynamic of like about the rings, and Sauron's trying to influence fucking Celebrimbor to fucking make more rings or whatever the fuck he does, right? Because he knows like it can lead to like, I guess, weakness of character. I'm sure there's some sort of metaphor behind the rings, like, oh, these things can corrupt you, and every time someone puts on one of these fucking rings, that you can tell they're getting like roped in by the magic of it and shit. So I'm like, dude, that's like, to me, the cool thing, and that's the drama I want to hear about, right? Less so I guess all these characters are going to play roles later on, but at this point, I don't care about them. I don't care about the Black Elf. I don't care about the fucking, actually, let me say this. The fucking orcs. Them fucking, like, talking. I don't know what it is, but, like, it throws me off. I know they talked in the Lord of the Rings movies, but even I didn't like it there either. Like I don't want these guys talking, at least not English. Hey, here's the captive boss. Like I don't want to fucking hear that from fucking monster looking things. I want to hear like some made up foreign language, like some shit like that, bro. Like make them more eerie and scary looking, but they're just like normal dudes with weird makeup on. Like that's what they seem like. Some British chaps with fucking you know expensive makeup on and masks and prosthetics and all that shit. So once again, I'm not an expert on Lord of the Rings, and maybe if I learn more, I'll have more of an appreciation for the show. But to me, these things are like it's hard. Like it's easy. Like with an hour plus long episodes, it's easy for me to just start getting like, oh, God, something happened. Like, where's the real juice of the show? Because I think the same thing happened with season one, where I was like interested. Okay, who's this Galadriel chick? She's beating the fuck out of everyone. Okay, she's a savage. She's looking for the big baddie, Sauron. She's like, oh, this dude's still around somewhere, and I need to go find them and all that shit. I'm like, okay, cool. And then after an episode, it just starts dragging, where it's just, God, this is boring. They're doing fight training sequences. I'm like, God, with the fuck boys from the bad city, from that city I fucking hate. Forgive me for not knowing all the names. It's just, it is what it is. Lord of the Rings, wizards, gnomes, they throw me off, bro. Uh, but yeah, like it's like they want to rope you in with the first episode or two or whatever like that, right? And then they're just like, okay, back to boring bullshit. Like that's just how it feels for me. Uh, all right, I'll leave it there because let's be honest, this is not a review, right? It's not really a review because it's not fair. I don't know all the like the understanding of the characters yet. I don't even know the fucking names of places and cities and all that shit. I don't have it like locked in. But for a taste test, I'm fucking bored already. I am. As much as I have gripes with House of the Dragon, like a lot of gripes with a lot of writing and aesthetics that are in that show that just bother me. Like, I think they're like poor quality, but they make up for it with the idea of this giant world called of Game of Thrones called Westeros and shit like that. And like, oh, the idea like, oh, dragons are gonna fight each other and the crazy you know, uh like gore and all that stuff, right? I think they try to make up for their lack of writing with shit like that. Dragon fights, even though they didn't even really do that many in season two. That pissed fans off. But I already had gripes before all that from season one on. Like I've been having gripes with the show, but at the very least, I'm entertained. Right? I'm having fun with this fucking show. I can point like, oh, that doesn't make sense, and have fun and laugh about it with my friends. House of Dragons, like, or Rings of Power, like, I don't know. I'm starting to question myself, like, why I'm watching it in the middle of an episode where like nothing cool is happening. Like, where's the focus on the Sauron guy and the heroes that are trying to stand up against him? Right now, they're still like we're watching, short people with a giant wizard walking in the fucking desert, hired by killers with these like, I guess supposed to be like intimidating looking masks, but they start talking again. Like, yo, be silent and fucking killer and badass and shit like that. Like, build some like suspense just by a character having presence on screen. Said they all fucking yap away, and it's like, God, these fools off my screen. Whatever, I went on a tangent. Whatever. Point is, I'm gonna say House of Dragon is better, but maybe for the wrong reasons. I think that shows a lot of wreckage. But wreckage is fun to watch sometimes, man. It's fun to point out stupid shit. If there's like toilet paper stuck to the foot of like an actor in the scene, it's like that's hilarious. It's more interesting than watching, a fucking giant wizard walk for 30 minutes straight. That's boring. But whatever. I'll leave it there. Here's my little mini sneak, I don't know, snippet review of House of, what's it called? Rings of Power, Season 2, Episodes 1 through 3. Alrighty.